in about 5 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're here today is we've got to receive word from one of our residents of the county that he wanted to make a sizable donation to the Georgia Sheriff's Association Boys Ranch. And he's here today with us, Mr. Clarence Smith. Glad to have you, Mr. Clarence.
Thank you, sir.
We have Mr. Terry Norris with the Executive Director of the Georgia Sheriff's Association with us, and Mr. George Gant, who kind of helped put this thing together after Mr. Clarence made his wishes known. So we're here to just celebrate Mr. Smith and what he's doing, and thank him for the extreme kindness that he showed to the Georgia Sheriff's Association and the Boys Ranch. And we want to thank you, so much for doing that. Don't want to make light of the small donations that we get throughout the state from all the citizens, but this is big, and we thank him for it. But like I said, the small ones, they count too, because it's all about those kids.
Will he take a question or two, Sheriff? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith, would you take a question or two, sir?
Yes.
What got you interested in the Georgia Sheriff's Boys Ranch?
Several years ago, I got the opportunity to visit the Georgia Sheriff's Boys Ranch down here in Hayhire, and I was impressed with the work they do. I found some children there that really needed some help, and I saw the results of some of the work that they do, and I was very impressed with it. And so for that reason, I'd like to help those children. And it's because of the work they do that I want to make this contribution. And at this time, I would like to present you with my contribution.
Thank you so much. It's in the amount of $25,000. That's great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now I'll turn it over to Mr. Norris, and he may have a few words about it that can.
First of all, thank you, Mr. Smith. I didn't know you, and I'm pleased to meet you today. I've heard a little bit about you, and we do know that you have recognized the work of the youth homes, and obviously today you came forward with this tremendous contribution. Your generosity is overwhelming. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll
Sure.
present it to
Yes, sir.
the man that'll get it to where it needs to go.
Sure will.
Thank you. Thank you both.
If I may, I have to say this. For over 50 years, the Georgia Sheriff's Youth Homes has existed to help abused, abandoned, and neglected children. And the flagship of all the 5 locations that we have in the state is right next door in Hayhire in Lowndes County. And in fact, the Georgia Sheriff's Youth Homes was established and created because a group of Southwest Georgia sheriffs decided back in the 50s that boys needed help because they had nowhere to go. They were pretty much living, some of them were living on their own, and that's how it all started. And it's grown to 5 locations now. The second location is up in Whitfield County, Georgia, Dalton. The third was over in Troup County. The fourth is over in Emmanuel County. And then there's a 5th satellite campus out in Murray County, which is across from Dalton. So over this 50+ years, it's been because of the generosity of many Georgians like you, sir, that have come forth and helped the sheriffs provide this home here at home. And thank you and your folks as well. Thank you.
I'd like to say that Sheriff Scarborough's predecessor was among those back in the 50s that helped start the Boys Ranch down there.
Sheriff Ed Walker.
Yes, sir.
And Sheriff Tom Greer.
Tom
I believe
Greer.
Tom Greer was
Greer
more involved in it, but
yes, sir. But it truly has been I hate to use the cliche of a team effort, but it has been on the backs of the elected sheriff and the notoriety and the value sheriffs provide in this state that has lent credibility to these organizations. And it's been because of generosity of folks like you that make it happen, and it takes a lot. There's about 80 children statewide right now in the organizations. And again, these are children that really are not given an opportunity to have a good, safe home environment for one reason or the other. They're with the Sheriff's Association and the youth homes, and we try our best to provide a safe and secure home for all of them. So thank all of you for being here, and thank you all. Mr. Gant, thank you.
Isn't it true that quite a few of those boys down at AR wind up going through college down there and getting a college degree, where otherwise they would not have had a chance to probably even finish high school.
Yes, sir, not just there, in all the campuses, and that's a real fundamental service that the sheriffs and the youth homes have tried to provide. Any of our children who come through and reside with us, if they do well in school, well enough to go to college or technical school, we make sure that they go to college. And we obviously take advantage of any of the grants that's available to any child, but we also provide that they need to get into and through college. In fact, there's a couple of young men now out of Boys Ranch that are in college, one at South Georgia and one over, I believe, in Albany, and they're running track in college, so they've got partial scholarships. So we're very proud of these people. But I will say this too, it's been because of the sheriffs and all of us Georgians, but it's also been because of a very loyal staff that we've got. We've got folks that are dedicated to children. You can't fix everything, but you can certainly help these folks when they need help.
Absolutely. And one other note, come September the 7th, I believe, it's in the planning stages right now, but we're going to have a gospel sing. Don't know the location yet, but it'll benefit the Sheriff's Boys Ranch. So y'all just keep that in mind and get ready for it, because we hope to have a big turnout.
I have a question, if you guys don't mind.
I have a great-granddaughter that's in finishing school now, and she's training to be a counselor for troubled kids.
Great.
So maybe she'll be able to help you out in
I
a few
hope
years coming.
I hope that when she gets to that point, she calls me, and I hope that we've got a spot if she's interested to help. I really do. So, and we look for children, and you have to know this too. Our locations, and I don't want to call Hayhire obscure, because it's not the most obscure place in this state. But we have our locations pretty much, the properties that the campuses are on were made available and given to the youth homes by very caring individuals. And sometimes our location of our properties are in very obscure places of the state. And one example is the one over in Emmanuel County. It's our Harrington Homestead campus. And there's almost nothing around there. So we have to work real hard to bring children in to that location in the state. But nonetheless, thank you so much. It's just a pleasure to be with all of you. Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming.
So there you have it from the Tift County Sheriff's Office.